Welcome to the Ref Show. We're talking Premier League, at least match action for the final time. It's been a long old haul, hasn't it, Mark Halsey and David Hirst? H for Hall, H for Hirst, H for Halsey, B for Biggs. Should be Higgs, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
Should be Higgs. Welcome to the Ref Show. So we had the final day of the season. All right, you can talk about drama and incident. We had 37 goals, but lots of dead rubbers and only one issue decided. That was Liverpool getting into the Champions League in fourth place. But funnily enough, that threw up the one big match debating point, didn't it? Liverpool, Middlesbrough, Martin Atkinson.
Yes, it did, and obviously when you look at it, it's a penalty. It's a penalty and a red card for me. I felt for Martin, to be honest, because as the incident unfolded and went into the box and Lovren's fouled Bamford, Matip ran straight in line with Martin, so he can't see it. But in that situation, you know, you look at your assistant, and Stuart Burt, who was the assistant on that side, you know, he's a top assistant, he's a FIFA assistant, and that's where you want your assistant to come in and dig you out of a hole. And yes, it was a penalty. Yes, it was a red card. But for young referees out there, I think watching this show, I think the thing to learn is when you've got a centre forward bearing down on goal, and he's gonna most probably get away a shot. He's not going to go down. He's not going to go down.
No. You wouldn't, would you? Hey?
I wouldn't have done, no. But I mean, that statement in itself, we know is not always 100% true.
No.
Some players out there will. There's honest lads that try and get their shots away and probably override the foul, to be fair.
We've got a debate coming up later in the show about the retrospective action next season for cheating.
But as I say, going back to that, Martin was unlucky. He was unlucky because as it happened, Matip just went straight in front of him.
Yeah.
And I know what it's like, 'cause it's happened to me before.
This was at 0-0.
I think the situation is as well.
It was a game-changing decision.
It
was a massive decision, because if
Do Liverpool go on to win with 10 men?
Yeah,
that's the decision, really.
Obviously, we don't know whether Middlesbrough would put the penalty away, but the chances are they would have done. So, you know, I bet Arsenal looking at that, thinking, perhaps
Arsenal won their game, so it could have.
To be fair, looking at Martin though, I mean, I was on the show a couple of weeks ago when we were praising him to do cup finals and World Cups and everything, because he's had a good season.
He's had a brilliant season.
Unfortunately, as we all know, certainly as players, as referees, you can't be on your full mettle every week. You know, sometimes you miss an incident, or as a striker you miss the opportunity. You know, so a little blip.
Talking Arsenal, Michael Oliver was in charge. They duly beat Everton by 3-1, and no real debate, I don't think, about Lauren Koscielny being sent off. Misses the FA Cup final.
I've got to say, I just don't understand the mentality of the player making a challenge like that as early as that. You know, it's an absolutely nailed-on red card. Arsenal can have no complaints about the red card. You know, it's reckless, endangering the player's safety, excessive force, out of control, at pace. It meets all the criteria for a sending off, and Michael Oliver got it absolutely spot on.
I must admit, there's sometimes I go a little bit against the referees, and that I couldn't do that.
You can't on that one.
You can't help somebody out when it is as blatant.
But having said that as well, you can't argue with the penalty he gave to Everton as well for the handball. That, I mean, you know, his arms out, he's made a movement towards the ball. And once again, I think Michael's got that right as well.
Okay, so these are two of the top performing referees this season. We'll talk about the general picture a bit later in the show, but just we're not going to itemise every Premier League game because there was lots of dead rubbers, but Hull 1, Spurs 7 deserves a mention for one or two reasons. Harry Kane hat-trick, 29 for the season. The referee kind of deserves to take a bow. Certainly the RefCam blog, I think, rated him highly. He was also outstanding, I thought, in the Championship playoff game, Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield. What do you think, Andre Mariner?
Yeah, I watched the game. I thought Andre, it's about managing the game, managing the players, but obviously refereeing a game of football, not the occasion. And I thought Andre was excellent. You know, the players know they've got a good referee, don't they? You know, when you see someone like Andre Mariner, Michael Oliver, Martin Atkinson, you know what you're going to get. Yes, they do make the odd errors, as we all did. And
the Sheffield Wednesday game missed a penalty. The keeper bringing down. I was at the game.
Do you think it was?
I was at the game. I've not seen it over again.
No, I haven't.
I was at the game, but at the time, a friend of mine rang me up and said it was a definite penalty.
Really?
And I didn't see the replay or anything like that. No. So, but yeah, just going off that, there was one he may have missed. So.
Well, yeah.
But general management.
But in general, you know, he was better than the players.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, you could, definitely agreed. A lot of them anyway.
He had
some
the
of them.
respect to the players, and that's the main
Yeah.
thing of when you're refereeing a football match, having the respect to the players,
Yeah.
and that comes with accuracy in your decision making.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it also meant that he performed the no cards trick, which I know that you always prided yourself on. He probably forgot to take them out like you did. There were no cards in the game at all.
I've done that many times in the Sheffield.
Yeah, but as Alan said,
derby.
as Alan said, that was because you left him in the dressing room.
Yeah, but if you manage the game well and you
Yeah.
have the players' respect, and listen, players dictate how referees referee a football match. Now, if it wasn't niggly, was it? There wasn't no bad challenges, so that allows the referee to manage the game.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to another referee. I mean, you had a great occasion to preside over. This was Neil Swarbrick at Stamford Bridge. Just to acknowledge as well that he's got perhaps, arguably, the biggest match of the whole season domestically. He's got the Championship playoff final, Huddersfield Reading, Neil Swarbrick.
Yeah, I think Neil's I thought he's had an excellent season this year. He's got stronger and stronger each year because he's been given more and more games, and gives him that extra match fitness, match practice, and it shows that the PGML are now starting to trust Neil Swarbrick with bigger games. So I think he's had an excellent season, and I think it's richly deserved that he's refereeing the playoff final.
But that's the way it should be going. We spoke about it before on the show. You know, we talk about when they have a bad game, dropping them down, and think, you know, you've got to keep trusting these guys, and then the players start trusting them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and then they can manage the game well.
But sorry, just come on. He's absolutely spot on. You know, you have one or two blips. Don't mean to say you should be dropped. Or
Exactly.
You should be taken. You know, you've got 3 or 4 games, and if it continues, then take the referee out of the limelight.
Okay, so Chelsea sign off, having won the title deservedly with a 5-1 win over Sunderland, 30th league win out of 38 league games, amazing. But mostly in the headlines for the farewell to John Terry. Now, of course, if Stage managed to exit on the 26th minute with a standing ovation, 26 being his squad number. Where do we stand on that? Quite early in the game.
Well, we had a bit of a disagreement off air before we come on.
Yeah, you can have a disagreement on it.
Yeah, I think it was excellent by Chelsea and John Terry and the manager agreeing for that to happen. You know, it's the last game of the season. Sunderland are relegated. Chelsea have won the title. Sunderland agreed to it. David Moyes agreed to it.
I was just going to say, there's got to be something
yeah,
said there because we can be looking a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
That's what the point I was making.
Sunderland kicked the ball out of play, the goalkeeper, and I think John Terry, 22 years. I mean, I've come through. I've seen John Terry's career progress. I refereed him when he played for the reserves when he first came into it. Yeah. You know, he got promoted. I got promoted. We've come through. You know, sort of the lower leagues together, and I think he's an absolute legend. I've had many conversations with John on the pitch. Obviously, we can't divulge that on air.
I'm sure you can't.
But he's, I think he's been.
He once said, "Well played to you."
Yeah,
is that what he said?
Only once or twice. But I remember when I was, you know, suffering with battling my cancer, and he, you know, come on the phone and spoke to me and sent me things, and I think he's a legend. I think he's been absolutely outstanding for Chelsea. And I'm glad to see that he's going to continue playing.
Right, deserves to go out with a fanfare at Chelsea, but you have a slightly different view on that. 26 minutes.
Well, I mean, hey, I totally understand what's happened now. Moyes said, that we agree to it, and like I say, it could have been seen as a bit disrespectful. If the game had meant something, would they have done it? The guy who spent 40 quid, 200 quid in the boxes, I don't know, was he happy that he comes off after 26 minutes? Just taking his son to watch John Terry's last game?
Yeah.
You know, so there's double standards there, but no, I'm not joking about it, but you know, you've got to look at these situations.
You'd have come off.
It's not cheap.
You'd have come off in the 9th minute, wouldn't you?
To be fair, I probably wouldn't have made it on.
You'd have been happy to come off in the
9th minute. Yeah. Probably have scored a hat-trick in the 9, but there you go.
But people wouldn't have said, "Oh, I've wasted whatever money they paid."
No, they said that when I played 90. But no, hey, having watched it, you know, afterwards when he was on the mic and, you know, thanking everybody and who he was talking about and everything, you know, he's had 22 years. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
When you start playing football as a professional, you know, you're looking at, if you're lucky, 15 years.
Yeah.
That generally works out about 12, 13.
Yeah.
You know, so to have a career at the level he's been at, I mean, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
you know, great ambassador.
I think he retired from international football as well too early. I thought he could have
Yeah,
carried on.
probably another couple of years out of him, in and out maybe.
Yeah.
But you know, what will he go and do now? He's saying he wants to carry on playing. see what the options are.
Okay, lots to come up in part two. We'll look at the performance of a budding referee, Simon Hooper, in the League One playoff final, the scenes that followed it, the prospect of 2 match bans for diving next season. There's a promotion of the first female referee to the Bundesliga. We'll talk about that. And generally, some top performers in the Premier League this season, like Michael Oliver, Martin Atkinson, Mike Dean and Anthony Taylor. Look at the You Are The Ref website. Keith Hackett's thoughts on those who haven't been so good and what needs to happen now. Rejoin us for part two.
Delighted to have you on board.